Got ourselves Evoke the Foot over for the team 1 ready to go. We got ourselves Fork Beard as well as Holy Sai in the back. We got Jayhawk, Wizard, and Pampushka ready to go. Kragar on the team 1, maybe the first, maybe the last, not really sure. On the team, we got us a Drew coming back as a Shabby. Oh my goodness. We got us a Duel, Masterfriend, and Troll back up in the action. First up versus Forkbeard. Him and Forkbeard have had a back and forth here tonight with most of Forkbeard getting bounced around like a beanbag everywhere. Thrall just knocks this guy all over the place. Big lava burst, I think it's just over. He just walked in, big ascendance activated. Nothing a warrior can really do versus an elemental shaman. Or rather, there's very, very little. Jayhawk trying to see if he can get himself another go versus Droog. Actually, swap it out to change his forms with an Evoker. Yo, Evoker as an Archmage will look really, really cool, by the way. Imagine with this kind of form, this armor. That looks so good, actually. Gonna be Troll trying to see if he can get himself a bit of a setup versus Jayhawk. Kind of bouncing in between the pillar in the middle, or the tombstone in the middle. As Jayhawk is able to push in, almost getting a full ring around Troll to entrap him in place. But as soon as he gets knocked back, he's trying to see if he can back up out of the big lava burst flying in. Together with Sky Fury, you better be very, very careful of Sky Fury. That extra damage, that extra crit damage it applies, it is not great. A lava burst being 100% crit, as long as you got a flame chuck on the target, I mean, it's just a recipe for disaster. Astral trying to find himself a better situation versus Jayhawk. Finally gets himself a follower. Jayhawk finally got the full burst, burrow down for Troll before Jayhawk can really go in for full entire burst of damage. Touching the magic is on him either way though. Maybe this way Jayhawk can swing around the corner, root around the corner as Troll trying to see if he can get himself a bit of a breather, trying to minimize the damage and the value of the touching magic. Is able to do so successfully, cutting out Jayhawk together with roots and slows. Lava burst sending in right after, knocking Jayhawk back to follow Earth Shock into a Frost Shock out to follow. As he got himself lighting his hands, ready to go. Once he going for big damage, once he's able to clean Jayhawk off of any shields, he's able to start cracking into his Hellbar Trinket to follow for the Light Lasso as he got himself Breath Body as well as a full shield ready to go. And maybe he can make someone work off of this one. As he got himself Arcane Blast setting up, but looks like he maybe was trying to get himself some kind of a go, but instead, while trying to see if he can set up for it, kind of an opportunity wasted in a way. This is going to be Jayhawk juking out and interrupt, trying to go for yet another poly from Troll. At this point, might just have to go for a full-on Ice Block. He decided, you know what? I'm not in a great spot. I need some help. I need a little bit of assistance. I need an Ice Block to help me recover here. I thought it should just be a baby. Yeah, I do agree with you on that one. It probably should just be like a... It needs to be more effective, though, for sure. Definitely needs to be more effective. Freeze onto Jayhawk, got himself a little bit of that ulti time, maybe a bit of health recovery, blinks to follow last to follow right after. Wait, no, it wasn't blink, it was a reverse blink, I think, but it doesn't matter, as Swallow's able to just cut him down with a Frost Shock, slicing the boy in twine with Pampushka charging him. This time around, as a Shadow Priest, you do have a little bit less line of sight to work for versus a Shaman. So maybe you can make someone work. Big Void Eruptions off without Ascension. Does it connect? Not a single one of these bolts connected. As he does go for a barrage, it's going to be an interrupt out of Thrall, trying to see if he can disrupt the Void Torment if possible. But Pushka trying to go for a bit of the mind games to try to see if he can put in some pressure, get him some bursts while Ascendance is active. Troll just got to use the line of sight, the limited line of sight he has with his pillar to get some damage in onto Palm. Finally tries to go in for a big burst after he gets a juke out or an interrupt. This one, Troll is still using as much space as he can with the tombstone to keep the damage rolling versus Pampushka while not letting the Shadow Priest get any line of sight or be blocked by line of sight with his little spikes and pillars and corners of broken off fixtures of the tombstone. I mean, it's just very, very little he could really do in this situation. Freeze to follow in place. Stroud trying to get himself another lava burst setup. Pampushka does recover a ton of health though. So if anything, he definitely does have himself a lot of healing. If he can get himself a couple of flashy heals this early into the game, dampening isn't going to hold him back whatsoever. Astral trying to get himself yet another setup, still chipping away at Pampushka, keeping him away from the tombstone, trying to make sure that he's playing this man on the hills play style here, and trying to keep his advantage here up above as best as he can. Flash Hill by Palm, able to go for a Shadow Crash. I think maybe this time finally connected with Trial. Lasso around the corner is Trial, trying to see if he can reposition to the other side of the tombstone, trying to see if he can take back his place as a man on the top of the hill. With Vampiric Touch, trying to see if he can set up some damage. Bomb's really limited on what he could really do. Knockback with the Root to Follow, got him some Flash of Lights. Honestly, Trial may just want to try to see if he can interrupt him on a Holy Spell. If you interrupt him on Shadow, you limit the man's cooldowns and his offensives. But what's really keeping him alive are those Holy Spells. I guess until higher dampening, so maybe might want to change up his strategy a little. Big level percent into a burrow. Let's get to knock him out. Big damage into a disperse. Got himself a big beach, just slamming down into Pompush. Got Hex right after. While the man still got dispersed for a little bit longer. But at least he still lets you control the guy as best as he can. Control the amount of cast he could really do. Knocking him away from the pillar. Trial got himself good line of sight here to work with. Last such a follow. Pompush can get no hull whatsoever. Does he get himself heal last second? Maybe no. I think it's over. Doesn't go for the silence, but the level burst does leave his fingertips either way though. With Evoke the Foot gonna be up next. Got himself full movement while casting as he got himself the hover together with a shatter. Mad damage beaming down Trial with a deep breath to follow stun. Full mastery. Trying to get himself a fire breath rolling in. Big instant cast hits are coming through it as it's gonna be stunned to Evoke the Foot with a Hex to follow. Does go for the trick in, but actually Hex lands right before the trigger comes out. That was super unfortunate as he tried to go for a bit of a knockup onto Trial. Trial playing it defensive right now. Evoke the Foot charges in. He got himself that full renewal blaze, so he can just get in there. Whatever damage he takes, he's just going to recover 100% of the damage together with a wall that makes him super uninterruptible. Hex yet again, even though he can't be interrupted, he can still be CC'd unless he's got himself that full shroud. He can be crowd controlled. 6 minutes into the duel. It's going to be limited healing right now for both competitors. Evoke the Foot still has a ton of heals. Trying to go for Sleepwalk onto Trial. Able to get it set up. That's going to be Trial breaking out of it with a Tremor. My goodness, that Tremor coming into play. Freeze to Evoke the Foot. Does get him interrupted. Oh, mad damage out of Thrall. Not letting this boy play whatsoever. And Holy Saya is going to be up next. This way you want to control Holy Saya in the opener as best as possible. Knocking him back as the Hand of Freedom comes out. Full Blessing and Spellboard is up for Holy Saya. Try to see if he can take down Trial right now. Doesn't the man have Burrow? You need anything right now. You need defensive Trinket to follow. Does he have any survivability? I think it's over. Oh. If anything, Holy Saya is so ready to take down Thrall. Every global he has is... Oh, come on, Douglas. Give some respect to this competitor. I think Trial did really good there, didn't he? Come on, you don't have to be so disrespectful. Masterfoot trying to see if he can rip right into very quickly. This matchup is so depressing for Shadow Priest. It is rough, man. Shadow Priests are, don't get me wrong, they're not in the worst spot ever. We've seen Shadow Priests in a pretty bad spot when it comes to duels, but there are definitely some classes that are hard counter. Plus, this arena, you don't really have a lot of pillars, and then one tombstone that doesn't give Shadow Priest Shaman a lot of cover. But he's able to maneuver around the tombstone and use this little spires of the tombstone as like a little line of sight to make sure the Shadow Priest can never get any damage into the guy. Ideally, this will be a pretty good arena where Shadow Priest has a line of sight on you, but Thrall got so much mobility, he's able to maneuver around the tombstone and a little bit of cover that it has, he's able to maximize and squeeze all the juice out of that thing. As Holy Saya got himself full consecration down, trying to see if he can chase after Masterfoot. Got himself full Heart of the Wild, but maybe Masterfoot might be in trouble bear form. Perfect place to... And Holy Saya does not have wings available just yet. Masterfoot trying to go for a bit of recovery. That swiftman is super sketch. Oh my goodness. Maim trigger to follow for Holy Saya. Trying to see if he can stay on top of the Feral as best as possible. Leap it away. Trying to break away from the Paladin. Get the Feral do it. Barely get it away. Rod regrowth. I think it's over as Holy Saya is slaying 2 in a row. With Drew gonna be up next as a Elemental Shaman. Enhancement Shaman. Big Sunder onto Holy Saya. Nothing he can do out of this one is just over. My goodness. That is so good. Thrall is just an absolute monster in this arena, man. Elemental Shaman. Did not get any changes for 10-1-5. Not a revamp class by any measure, but is still able to hold strong against every one of these revampers, man. My God.